Welcome back to another installment of Replay or Reject, PlayStation Classic Edition. Just a quick recap, I'm giving each game on the PlayStation Classic 1 hour to win me over. After that hour, I'll make my determination on whether the game would be worth replaying in the future, or if it will get added to my ever-growing list of reject games that I never want to play again. There's only one game on this list that I've actually beaten before. The rest of them either I have barely played, never played, or never even heard of. Well, that's enough preamble, so let's get to it. Next up we have Tekken 3. I'm still not a big fighting game fan, but I went into this one with my expectations set pretty low since there's only one other true fighting game on this classic console. Oh yeah, and then that other deceptive game that almost looked like it was going to be a fighting game when I was just quick scrolling through the game list initially.
You're a phony! Hey everybody! This guy's a great big phony!
Also, Tekken is still an active franchise, so even though I never played it, other people must like it enough for them to keep it going. We get our opening cutscene that shows off our different fighters. A couple of these look sort of familiar, but I don't actually know any of the characters of the series or any backstory or anything. Onto the title screen, and this game actually has a few different modes. That already puts this leagues ahead of Battle Arena Toshinden. I tried out arcade mode first, and we have 10 characters to choose from. We have Little Girl, Knockoff Predator, Resting Bitch Face, AI-generated Bruce Lee, Ginger Ninja, 1,000-Yard Stare, Aryan version of Kid from Kid and Play, guy buying his furry costume on a payment plan, emo haircut, and dude from the front cover. So I inadvertently picked Paul because I ran out of time on the character select screen and had my first fight against Nina. I was able to button mash my way through and just barely beat her with a sliver of health left. I mean, it was my first fight, so it could have gone worse. Next fight was against Little Girl.
Yeah, I like hitting kids too.
This one didn't go so well. She was way more agile and aggressive, and even though I had her down to basically nothing, she came back something fierce and whooped my ass. Alright, 2 fights in, and I already lost. That's fine, I really didn't want to play as that guy anyway. So now I switched to Jaguar Guy this time, and his actual character model is even goofier than his photo was on the select screen. Like, he legit looks like what you'd get if you were using a character creator and just hit random for everything. I fared a lot better with him and was able to beat up Little Girl. That did help heal my ego and made me feel like a big tough man. Next fight, I just happened to pause and I found that this game actually has a built-in move list. OMG. I don't know if the actual physical game maybe came with a booklet too with the moves in it or not, but even if it did, including it in-game is still a welcome addition. It's not like I was going to memorize move lists and stuff since I only had an hour to play, so I still did basically just rely on button mashing, but still, it was definitely nice of them to put it in there. So I was doing pretty good with King, and I ended up making it to stage 7 before losing again. So I switched him out for Yoshimitsu, who's the dude from the intro that was using Predator cloaking technology. I have no idea what he's actually supposed to be, though. He does have a sweet lightsaber katana, and he's out here flipping all over the place, so this dude's a total badass, but I suck, and I still got beat pretty easily by Law in the next round. Realizing that I've been playing as all dudes so far, I changed it up and go with old RBF herself, Nina, and even in heels, this chick's not bad. I take out Law, but then get beat by Heihachi. I saw him in the intro, and even without really knowing much about Tekken, I recognized this guy and his hairstyle. But that just might be because his hair looks like it was stolen out of Majora's Mask. I'm guessing he's like one of the main baddies or something, and even worse, he had no qualms about hitting a lady. I went back to King since he was my go-to through most of this so far, and I teach him a lesson.
Don't treat women like that!
I thought that was going to be it, but nope, there's another fight against Ogre. I lose to him now, and I switched out to Law and just barely beat him. So now that's it, right? Double nope. So Ogre picks up Heihachi, and I guess the two of them morph into one being that's also called Ogre? No clue. There probably is some kind of exposition that I completely missed during my playthrough of why that happened, but I'll just roll with it. Either way, I'm actually able to take him out in one try. He was way easier than the last two. Granted, I'm playing on easy mode, so good chance that like most tournament fighter final bosses, he's way harder and cheaper on the higher difficulties. I then get a quick cutscene of some of the boys practicing their gymnastics, and then the credits roll. Cool, well hey, at least I was able to beat the tournament once in this game. Back out to the main menu, I tried out some of the other modes real quick just to see what the game had to offer. I gave practice mode a quick go and used my newly unlocked character whose name is Panda, but looks like a grizzly bear on the select screen, but then the in-game model is a panda. Okay. There's some different options for how the CPU character acts and stuff, but I didn't play around too much since I wanted to test out more actual gameplay before I ran out of time. Not a ton to see here, but again, this along with the movesets and the menus is something that I don't remember a lot of older fighters having. That's something that I would have definitely appreciated back in the day, because even though internet existed in the 90s, those of us that grew up poor didn't have access to it. So it's not like I could just go online and look up and print out move lists back then. We also have Tekken Force mode, which I had no idea what that was going to be, but it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up where you play as the Tekken characters. It's a cool little idea, and from the little bit I played, it seems like a slightly better attempt than the unfortunately disappointing Mortal Kombat Mythologies. Both of these games came out the same year, but Tekken 3 was a few months earlier, and this isn't even the main mode. Also, this one doesn't have horrible platforming areas, so that alone gives it the edge. It's not without its faults, though. You don't seem to be able to freely change what plane you're on, so it can be a little bit hard to hit the enemy you want, and sometimes you can't grab the turkeys on the ground to heal yourself. I only made it to the second level before I got beat, but it was a fun little diversion.
I'm a sad panda.
Next up is survival mode, where I guess the goal is to win as many fights as you can. My first attempt went swimmingly as I got destroyed right off the bat. Great start. I switched back to my boy King and, okay, not much better. So yeah, I assume it's just an endurance thing to see how many rounds you can last, but since I tried it a handful of times and couldn't even beat a single opponent, I eventually just gave up and moved on. After each loss, it just tells me that you need more practice.
No shit!
So then I tried out Time Attack. This is another one where I just gotta kind of assume what it actually is since I couldn't get very far. In the first fight, I was going against knockoff Predator again, and dude just kept tombstoning the crap out of me. So you probably just try to see how quickly you could beat your opponents, but again, I'm not sure since outside of arcade mode I completely suck. I think the difficulty setting only applies to arcade mode, and that's most likely why I'm doing so poorly in all these other modes. So after realizing I suck too much to get anywhere in these, I just went back to arcade mode for the rest of my playthrough, and I tried to unlock some more characters at least. I was able to cheese a lot of the fights with Yoshimitsu's spinning back kick. After winning with him, I get another goofy cutscene of them feeding ogre blood to a rat, and then they book it out of the building as the giant rat explodes out of it. Okay, that actually made me laugh out loud. I kept using that same strategy a couple more times of just spamming that kick, and then I would purposely lose the final fight and switch to another character to beat the final boss so I could unlock more. I don't know if I had to do that or not, but most of the fighters that I played, you have to beat the game with different characters in order to unlock more and more, so I just assume that's the way this game works too. I finished the tourney a few more times and got a couple more endings. Paul's ending is just him getting a speeding ticket. Eddie Gordo's ending looks like something out of a crime drama, but I don't know much about his backstory, so that kind of went over my head, but so far that's the only somewhat serious one I've seen. Jin's ending sees him getting shot point blank in the face, and then he resurrects and slams Heihachi through the wall. Then he jumps out and grows wings and flies away. Seriously, what is going on with this game? And now it's decision time. Truthfully, I was expecting this to be a reject at the start since I never played this series, and for the most part the only fighter I really like is Mortal Kombat. And that's more due to the lore and the fatalities and gore over anything else. But no, I'm going with replay on this one. I actually had quite a bit of fun, and it looks like a serious game on the surface, but some of those crazy cutscenes and the off-the-wall characters made me legit laugh a few times. There's a bunch of modes, and even though I suck at most of them, that does add some replayability. The Tekken Force mode is the most intriguing, even though I couldn't get past level 2, but I think some of that is just due to the slightly different controls that I didn't have enough time to adapt to. If anything, it'll be fun to come back and just unlock the rest of the characters. In the short time I was playing, I was able to add Forbidden Cuddles, Jailbait, Mohawk Cyborg, Sad Stripper Eyes, and last but not least,
what rolls downstairs, a motor in pairs, rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and fits on your back? It's long, long, long. It's long, long. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's long.